You are sitting in a dusty operations tent in Afghanistan, sweat soaking through your uniform after another long patrol with your regular army unit. The radio crackles with routine traffic. You are 28 years old, a staff sergeant with a solid record, but nothing that would make anyone look twice. You are good at your job, competent, reliable, respected by your platoon, but you have no idea that tonight, everything is about to change. A plain black SUV pulls up outside the tent. Two men in civilian clothes step out. They don't wear name tags.
The invitation is not optional, Sergeant.
Ranks. One of them simply says your full name and asks you to step outside. Your platoon sergeant gives you a curious look, but nods. You follow them into the cooling desert night. They hand you a sealed envelope. Inside is a single sheet of paper with coordinates, a date, and the words, Selection Assessment, Report Alone. No explanation.
Orders
no
unknown?
Signature.
What does
Just
that
those
mean?
words
And Flight
and a plane ticket
294.
for 3 days later.
You two need to
You
start
ask
talking right
what
now.
It is. The taller man
You
looks
will
at
comply.
you for a long moment and says,
Do not
If you want to
engage.
find out, show up. If you talk about this to anyone, the opportunity disappears forever. They drive away. You stand there holding the paper, heart already beating faster than it did during the last firefight. 3 days later, you are on a commercial flight to the United States, then a series of unmarked vans and planes that leave you in the middle of nowhere at a remote training facility. No one greets you with fanfare. You are told to drop your bags and join the other candidates. There are fewer than 30 of you. Over the next several weeks, they try to destroy you. They run you until your legs buckle. They make you carry heavy logs through freezing swamps until your shoulders feel like they are tearing. They wake you after 2 hours of sleep and demand perfect performance on complex problem-solving tests. They watch every micro-expression, every moment you think no one is looking. Most men quit. Some break down crying. Some simply disappear in the night. You keep going. You push through the pain, the doubt, the exhaustion that makes the world blur at the edges. You refuse to be the one who fails. When the final day comes, and the instructors tell the survivors they have passed selection, you feel something shift inside you. You are no longer the soldier you were. You have crossed a line into a world that does not officially exist. You are now a Delta Force operator candidate in the assessment phase. The real training begins. You learn languages so fluently, you could pass as a local in hostile territory. You spend endless hours in kill houses, clearing rooms with live ammunition while instructors throw every distraction they can imagine. You master breaching techniques explosive, mechanical, ballistic, until your hands move on pure muscle memory. You practice high-altitude, low-opening jumps, combat diving, and vehicle interdiction until these skills feel as natural as breathing. You are assigned to a squadron. The men around you become closer than brothers, because in the darkness, when everything goes wrong, they are the only thing standing between you and failure. Trust is absolute. Hesitation gets everyone killed. Your first real mission comes sooner than you expect. The target is a high-value terrorist financier operating in a denied area. You insert by halo, jump under a moonless sky. The wind screams past your helmet as the ground rushes up. You land softly, link up with the team, and move like ghosts through hostile streets. Every sense is dialed to maximum. You hear the distant call to prayer, smell diesel and spice in the air, feel the weight of your suppressed weapon. The raid is clinical. You stack on the door, breach with precision, and clear the building in seconds. The objective is secured before the enemy realizes death has arrived. Exfiltration is just as clean. The world wakes up the next morning with no idea American operators were ever there. That perfect silence becomes your new addiction. As months turn into years, you rise through the ranks inside the unit. You become a senior operator and team leader. The weight on your shoulders grows. You are no longer just executing, you are planning. You spend long nights studying satellite imagery, human intelligence reports, and pattern of life analysis until your eyes burn. You brief squadron leadership on risk versus reward. You make the call on whether the team stacks left or right of the door. You learn the terrible truth of leadership in Delta Force. Every decision you make could bring your brothers home in body bags or as ghosts who succeeded. The psychological burden is immense. You see things in the darkness that no training can fully prepare you for the faces of the enemy up close. The collateral damage of war, the moral gray zones that come with operating outside normal rules. You learn to compartmentalize, to lock the horror away, so you can remain sharp for the next call that comes at 0300 hours. You advance into the role of assaulter and breaching specialist. This is where violence becomes art. You master every method of entry. Explosive breaching that can vaporize reinforced doors. Mechanical breaching with halogen tools. Ballistic breaching with shotgun slugs. Your hands move with muscle memory forged through tens of thousands of repetitions. In the kill house, time slows down. You flow through rooms like water, neutralizing threats before they can react. You become the man who kicks in the door when the world is ending. Missions grow increasingly complex. Simultaneous strikes on multiple targets. Operations in dense urban environments teeming with civilians. High-risk hostage rescues under heavy fire. You operate alongside the best snipers in the world, communications experts who can call hellfire from the sky, and medics who can keep a dying man alive long enough to reach the exfiltration bird. The Brotherhood becomes something almost sacred. These men would walk through fire for you, and you for them. Years pass. You become a squadron sergeant major, or troop commander. Your role transforms again. You now shape the future of the unit. You design selection courses that are even more brutal than the one you survived. You mentor the next generation of candidates, looking for that rare spark of unbreakable will. You advise on national-level counterterrorism strategy, sitting in rooms where generals and policymakers listen because you have done what they can only plan on paper. You carry the institutional memory of missions that will never see the light of day. You have lost brothers. You have prevented disasters the public will never know about. The secrecy that once felt like a burden now feels like armor. You understand why Delta Force exists to do what others cannot, so the rest of the country can live without fear. At the highest levels, you become one of the legends within the legend. You are called upon for the most sensitive missions on Earth. You train foreign partners in techniques that can never be written down. You consult on emerging threats from near-peer adversaries. You may even find yourself in the Situation Room, quietly advising the president on what is humanly possible when the world hangs in the balance. Your career spans decades of silent service. When you finally step away from the unit, you carry with you the quiet knowledge that you were part of something far greater than any medal or headline could ever capture. You kept the wolves at the door so that millions could sleep safely at night. This is your life at every single level of Delta Force. From the soul-crushing selection process that breaks most men who attempt it, through the relentless operational tempo of the squadrons where every mission could be your last, to the quiet strategic influence at the highest levels of national security. You don't do it for glory. You don't do it for recognition. You do it because the darkness is real, and someone has to stand in it, so the light can endure. In the end, the greatest reward is the silence, knowing that when the call comes in the dead of night, you and your brothers were ready. The world will never know your name, but because of you, it gets to keep turning. And somewhere, right now, another young soldier is receiving a sealed envelope that will change his life forever. The cycle continues. The watch never ends.